Hey guys, welcome to ProTricks. Today, ProTricks is back with an interesting topic, and that is schools of psychology. Okay, let's get started. Before going to our session, let us look actually what is meant by the schools of thought. It is a perspective of a group of people who share common characteristics of opinion or outlook, of a philosophy, discipline, belief, and all. In psychology, we have got six schools, and they are structuralism, functionalism, psychoanalysis, behaviorism, gestaltism, and humanism. Let us start with the first one, that is structuralism. As the name suggests, it's saying something about the structures and all, and let's see what's that. William Wundt, a professor of biology in Germany, along with his student named Edward Teacher, tried and wanted to identify the basic elements of human conscious experiences. So they proposed that psychology should focus on analyzing the contents of consciousness in order to determine its basic elements and the relationship between them. This view is known as structuralism. They also introduced a method through which this could be done, and that is introspection. What is introspection? It is a method in which trained individuals report in detail on their conscious experience in response to specific stimuli like sound stimuli, visual stimuli and all that are presented to them under carefully controlled condition. But neither the topic they studied nor the methods employed have survived the test of time. That is why we are moving on to the second school, that is functionalism. In 1875, there was a young professor of biology and philosophy at Harvard University named William James. Yes, William James is a hero of functionalism. He was very much impressed with the work of Charles Darwin, who suggested in his theory of evolution that every physical characteristic evolves in a species because it serves some purpose. So he suspected that the same thing could be said about the human mind also, since human consciousness is a unique human characteristic. This idea led to functionalism. So, functionalism is an early view of psychology suggesting that the field should focus on the functions of consciousness. They also argued that if consciousness is studied, the people can cope up with the changing and challenging world around them. But gradually, itself also faded away as an identifiable school. So let us get on to the third school, that is psychoanalysis. Of course, when we hear this term, a person's name suddenly strikes in our mind. And here's Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was an Austrian physician who practiced neurology, and he was responsible for the day-to-day care of a large number of patients, many of whom had serious psychological problems. So this fact differentiates his view of psychology from those of other founders, and let's see what's his view. He believed that the field should study on covert behavior, but he dived his head first into unconsciousness because he thinks that many of the factors that influence our actions and thoughts were operated entirely by our unconsciousness and not by our consciousness. He also believed that many of the problems that he tried to treat were innate motives, particularly sexual and aggressive ones. So he brought out the third school, that is psychoanalysis. It is an early view of psychology suggesting that the field should focus on the unconscious experiences, innate motives and all to arrive at a complete understanding of an individual. But not all psychologists subscribe to his view, but no other schools of psychology had got this much of admiration, appreciation and criticism as that of psychoanalysis. And I think it's time to get on to the fourth school, that is behaviorism. John B. Watson, a staunch supporter of behaviorism, prompted a revolution in psychology. He argued that psychology should not focus on the mental process, the events that are not seen by the naked eye. In his perspective, it should focus on the overt or observable behavior. They argued that behavior could be studied by understanding the external stimuli, which means the environmental factors, and the responses, which means observable behavior given by we human beings. In short, behaviorism is a view suggesting that the field should concentrate on external observable characters which could be studied scientifically. But today we know that to understand an individual, both covert and overt behavior must be studied. Right? So, I think it's time to get on to the fifth school, that is Gestaltism. Max Wertheimer is the hero of Gestaltism. Gestaltism. Here, Gestalt means whole. According to Gestaltists, their slogan was whole is greater than sum of its part, and they conveyed the idea that it is meaningless and inefficient to study the human mind or conscious experience when it is broken down into parts just like the structuralists do. Instead, if it is done by considering it as a whole and analyzing it, of course, it is meaningful. So, Gestaltism is the view that suggests human mind could be studied meaningfully only when it is considered as a whole. They explained this by using 5 phenomena. What is 5 phenomenon? It is a phenomenon in which two lights seems moving when it is arranged like appearing and disappearing rapidly. So they said that here we can see the lights moving because we are perceiving it as a whole and not because of examining each part. And if it is done like that, we can't find anything meaningful in it. Okay? So let us get on to the last school, that is humanism. According to humanists like Carl Rogers and all, they considered human beings as free agents capable of choosing their own wills, responses and all. And it is totally different from those of psychoanalysts and behaviorists who argue that our actions are controlled by other factors like unconsciousness and external environmental factors respectively. They concentrated on the topics like love, grief, self-actualization and external factors that make us self-examined and all. In short, humanism is a view that suggests the field should focus on self-actualization like topics to understand and mold the person more efficiently. And that's all about our topic today, and we will be back with another super duper video. So please subscribe our channel, hit the like button and share it if you like. Okay, bye bye.